back. My wife is away for 2 weeks with the Army for her annual training. She's in the Army National Guard, and there's really, I mean, nothing to celebrate about that. But the only silver lining to that is that I get to try and use all the tree stuff that she hates. She does not like most of my tree scented shaving products, because especially the pine ones. Cedar not so much, but pine really irritates her senses. So I'll be using a bunch of natural smelling, like woody, tree, foresty type stuff for the next couple weeks. So I'm going to start that off today with a sample of Castle Forbes Cedarwood and Sandalwood essential oil cream. Now, if you've heard of Castle Forbes, or if you haven't, Castle Forbes is an actual castle in Scotland, and I think it was founded by the original Lord Forbes, or like, I don't know if he's the original one or not, but he established the castle, I think, in the 1500s, 5 or 6 centuries old. And the Castle Forbes brand came about in the mid-90s, I think around 96. The current guy who's there, Malcolm Forbes, and his wife, they wanted to do something with the Forbes castle that was not just a landmark that people come and look at, but they decided to open a perfumery, and so they converted the barn on the premises there into a perfume house. And that's what they did at first, was like cologne, perfume, fragrances, and stuff like that. The shaving scene is a little newer. I don't know if it's a decade old. I think it's much more recent than that. But they have 3 scents in the shaving creams. And this is the Cedarwood and Sandalwood, and that one was formulated for most people, like the average skin type, unless you, of course, are allergic to sandalwood and cedarwood. There are people who get skin reactions from it. The lavender cream was formulated with sensitive skin in mind. Ironically, it is very strongly scented. It's a strong lavender. I like it a lot. The lime cream was formulated for people who get cuts and nicks very easily. So I guess there's a little bit of a chemical alteration in the cream itself to specify to those skin types. But this one is supposed to be just for average, and I'll be using it today. I've used the lavender one, and it is very good stuff. So I'll talk more about this stuff as we get along with the shave, so don't go away. All right, I'm back. This was a used sample I got from a friend he sent me samples of all 3 creams and the lime balm. But what I realized when I shaved with the lavender cream is that a little bit goes a long way. See, this is probably too much. I'll just demonstrate that. The only boar brush I have, Excelsior. This is a Samog. I think it's 830. That's what it's called. Pretty wet, so we're just going to get the cream up out of here. In fact, I probably could have put this in the brush itself. I'm not creating a bowl lather so much as I'm just getting it onto the brush bristles here, since I can't tub load. Back to Castle Forbes and their branding. Something I didn't mention earlier is that it's all scented with essential oils. I think they make the oils in their in-house, and their goal is to make products that smell great and work great for the skin, with minimal, if any, chemical outputs. Nothing synthetic anyway. So they derive all their scents from natural ingredients. So it's like actual lavender they're deriving the lavender oil from. So you're not going to find anything fake in this. This is all high quality stuff. There we go. Go on to the face lather. Let's get this base down and start to work it in. You can see it's already starting to form. Now, the scent on this is the lowest scent strength of the 3. The lime and the lavender are both kind of on the high end of scent strength. I'd say about an 8.5 at least for both of them. And you can open the containers, especially if it's a full jar. You can open it up and just smell it pretty strongly a foot away from your face or so. This one is a lot lower scented. I would say it's about a 5 or 6. Now I've not smelled it out of the big jars. It may be much stronger there, and I find that scent. Sometimes I can get a sample of something and not really care for the scent, but later on discover that the scent really opens up in a full container. And let me just tell you, a full container of this stuff, 6.8 ounces. Now it tends to be pricey. It's about at the lowest you're going to find it, and you can find it pretty much almost any third-party retailer of grooming products, you're gonna be able to find it. Like Amazon has it, I think, for 35 bucks, which is about $5.15 an ounce. eBay has it. Sometimes you can find it even less than that. Some of the other third-party retailers sell it for like $60. So I think it's suggested retail is actually like in the $60 range, which is a lot. I know some people who have paid that much for it. I personally would not, but this cream will last forever. It's 6.8 ounces, and you don't, as you can see, I probably use too much. So if you're only using that, I'd say you get a good year out of it, or a year or two out of it if you use only that, maybe even longer. If you're like me and have a whole bunch of stuff, it's probably never going to run out. And this scent is very simple, and all their scents are pretty simple. They're not aiming for complexity at all. They're aiming for depth of just the simple scents. I mean, I think that it's got a very strong cedar base, and the sandalwood's pretty light on top. So if you're not a big sandalwood fan, you may still like this. I love cedar. Everything that I have with cedar in it, I tend to love. And it is just excellent scent. All right, Gillette ball on tech with a Perma sharp blade. This is one of my favorite blade razor combos. It's pretty effortless. All right, second pass here, cross grain. The slickness on this is very good. Let's just do a little residual slickness check. I find it to be very good too. It's all around good. You can buff, I think, with no problem, as long as you got enough water on your face. My face, I don't think I added enough water to that lather right there for it to maintain residual slickness. So keep that in mind. You definitely want to, I wouldn't say it's thirsty, but you definitely want to use, you control the water type like you would anything else. It's not quite straight. This is the worst part of shaving if you have a beard, is trying to keep the line straight. All right, got that. I think I got that squared away. All right. Alright, we'll be back with final thoughts. We're back. Castle Forbes Sandalwood and Cedarwood cream, or Cedarwood and Sandalwood cream. Very good performer. No complaints. I have no irritation at all. I think the residual slickness and volume of the lather is very good. Up there with some of the best in wet shaving. Especially as far as creams go, it's the best cream I've ever used. Post shave is good. I don't feel like I need to use a balm. But it's not like, I wouldn't say it's upper tier or anything like any of Barrister Man stuff, Katie's Bubbles, all the big, elite level soap performers. As far, I've never tried artisan cream, and I do have a sample of Katie's Bubbles Luxury Cream Formula soap. I've had it for a while now. I've just never used it, so I'm really looking forward to trying that. But I've already done my alum. There's no sting at all. I'm gonna apply my witch hazel. It's something I always do, and I use Thayer's witch hazel most of the time, and it tends to be more expensive. Plain witch hazel is like $3 or $4 at a store. Thayer's is $8 to $10, sometimes $12. But I find that my more expensive witch hazel goes much further if you just go to Walmart or somewhere and get like a little spritzer bottle. And this will last forever. I filled this up like a month ago, and it's not even halfway through. I've used it a lot, and not just for shaves too. Sometimes I've had some spots of irritation, and I'll just spray it on. Sometimes I use it as a hair tonic if I'm not washing my hair that day, just to make my hair combable again. It helps my scalp. So yeah, let's get that going here. Helps reduce inflammation, any red spots you might have. So I don't have anything stinging me right now, so I'm good. My neck is getting healed up a lot more than my last shave. So yeah, this is good stuff. I'll be using this. After it dries, I'll be using some Paraso Red, this sample. I really need to get a full bottle of this stuff because it's an incredible scent. I love it. Doesn't have a lot of staying power. I would love an EDT that smells like this, but good nonetheless. Can't go wrong with it. So yeah, the biggest I would say the biggest factor in hindering most people in getting this cream, because a lot of people, you know, want to try it. It's pretty popular as far as I know, but it's pricey, and even at its cheapest, $33, $35, it's still pretty expensive. But just know it's a high quality product, all natural ingredients. The jars themselves look excellent. There's just some of the most outstanding packaging you'll see in wet shaving. Very good scents, will go very far, it's high performing. So if you got the change of spirit, I definitely recommend you try it out. And I do believe Maggard Razors has samples of it. It could be West Coast Shaving. I'll put the links below if I can find the samples for it. I'm pretty sure that's where these come from Maggard Razors. So yeah, great stuff. I recommend it fully. And because it's so sought after, if you buy it and you don't like it, someone will buy it from you on buy, sell, trade, and you will only be out a few extra dollars, you know. So it's pretty low risk, high reward, as I've liked to say recently. So yeah, can't go wrong with it in my opinion. So until next time, like and subscribe if you haven't. Comment below if you have anything to say about Castle Forbes or any questions from me, and I will see you next time.